Aloha, everybody. Welcome to Astrorisa Moon Forecaster. We are talking about this June 5th, 2020 lunar eclipse, Sagittarius full moon. That's going to be at 3:12 p.m. Eastern Time. The moon is 15 degrees Sag in House 3. The sun 15 degrees Gemini in House 9. The ascendant is 14 degrees Libra. So we've got a lot going on with this moon time. As we know, a lot has been going on globally all around the world. And so this moon is also associated with the archetype of Sag in the Orisha world. We would say Ochosi. So let's talk about a couple of aspects and also the meanings of Sag, Ochosi, and then, of course, these aspects. So, the lunar eclipse, what is that about? Well, the lunar eclipse is the gateway to rapid change, and it's marking a turning point within our destiny, and oftentimes this change is uncomfortable. And so we are actually seeing this. Now, this moon times Sagittarius moon, sun in Gemini is also paralleling the nodes that shifted in May as well, which moved into the Gemini North Node, Sagittarius South Node. And if you listen to my forecast, you know I've talked heavily about this. Also, me and Iadia spoke about this a lot, this nodal shift. So this moon time, the eclipse, is basically opening up. It is expanding what the North Node, South Node is bringing to us on a collective, which is immediate change related to truth, related to global communities, related to many, many different things. And you can just go back and listen to our end of the year, New Year show to get all of that information. Now let's go ahead and talk about this Sagittarius energy, which is related to Ochosi. Now, Ochosi energy, that is the Orisha Ochosi, he always hits his mark. Whether pleased with the strike or not, whatever he aims at, he never fails to hit it. So Ochosi also doesn't like the wild side of life, and he prefers to reside close to Abatala. However, he is always visiting Ogun's realm. So like mentally, he would rather be in that Abatala realm because he doesn't like all the chaos. But in order to survive, he always must be in Ogun's realm because that's where he hunts. That's where he goes to receive the resources needed for sustenance. Okay, so we are at this time, this lunar time, living in this space of the Ogun energy, needing desperately to connect with the Arbatala energy. But can we do it? Because right now, as we see globally, we are not in a space where there's much Arbatala. However, many people are trying to bring that energy forward to help bring the balance. Another aspect, or another point rather, about Ochosi is he is the master detective. And he can find and uncover the most hidden of things, the most hidden animals, the most hidden of anything, including truth. And so many times the Orisha will go to Ochosi when they need to find something, when they need to find something that is hidden, when something needs to come out. It is Ochosi that brings that forward, especially when we're dealing with truth and law and order. He governs jails, he governs cages, he champions justice, and he champions truth. because Ochosi, his justice is blind. So we are living very much in this realm of Ochosi right now. In fact, I bet a lot of you who have been getting readings, Ochosi may have been coming up in your reading. So now let's talk about this moon in Sagittarius. Let's continue to talk about this moon in Sagittarius. So the moon in Sagittarius has a strong desire for freedom, a need to change a current situation, and as it is in relation to house 3, it needs to communicate, explore, and study happenings within its current environment. The moon in Sagittarius is passionate, it's idealistic, and it has an energized character. So, we are seeing all of that. Yes, we're seeing the Sag energy, we're seeing the Ogun, Mars energy, we're seeing the Sagittarius Bathala energy, the Sagittarius Ochosi energy. All of this we're seeing, and our ascendant is in Libra. So we're having to balance so much right now. We're having to deal with a lot. We're having to deal with what do we need to put our attention towards? What is going to balance our scales? And we're also dealing with a need to not be so confused. Okay? Because this is about rightful justice and truth. And that is the energy that has been accumulating about 8 to 10 days before we got to this full moon. As I always say, whatever the energy is during the full moon, it begins 8 to 10 days prior. And so, thus it is so. All of this began about 8 to 10 days prior, yes? And it's been coming to the forefront, and the global community has gotten involved. Countries we thought would never be involved is now participating in this global discussion about not only truth, but justice and rightful justice. So, very interesting, yes? And with this moon time, a lot of hidden falsehoods and abuse and lawlessness is going to be exposed on many levels, and it is happening on many levels. So that's the moon time we're in. Now let's talk about some of these aspects, just a couple of them. Now we have the moon square Mars happening. Now, if you're connecting with the moon square Mars, as so many people are, that's emotions which are heightened and highly inflammable, and the slightest infraction can cause those emotions to combust. We are seeing that. Venting and releasing tension is exercised, and any injustice, real or imagined, is being punished. We are seeing that. But we also have the moon square Neptune. And the moon square Neptune, those are emotions and feelings are extremely sensitive, and for some can lead them into relationships which are physically or emotionally abusive. Because moon square Neptune has a hard time recognizing the truth about a situation or person, this aspect can fall under the spell of a Jim Jones persona if not careful. So even right now with all that's going on, there was an incident in the news where an elderly man walked up to the police to give them their helmet, and they perceived him as a threat. Okay, moon square Neptune. And they attacked him. Because they could not recognize his truth, what he was offering them. They could not recognize the situation for what it really was. So we have a lot of that going on right now. Now, however, on a higher octave, the moon square Neptune can relate to other people's needs and pain, their suffering on a deeply spiritual level. And it wants to bring comfort and healing. However, it's able to remain its own person. It does not get lost. That's a very high octave to be able to do that when we're talking about moon square Neptune and not get lost in the other person's situation. Many times they can get lost in the other person's situation and wanting to heal them. But on the most highest octave, they're able to heal, they're able to help, they're very sympathetic and empathetic, but they're able to remain their own person. And I think that's what many of us would strive to be right now, is to connect to that aspect where we're on the higher octave, where we're able to help others and not get caught up in what's going on. That's not easy to do, but it may be something that we may want to strive to do during this time so that we don't get lost in the muck and the mire of what's happening. Okay, everybody. That was just a short, sweet Astrorisa moon forecast. There's a lot going on, and I am involved in a lot of things right now, but I wanted to get this out to you to just share with you the energies of what's happening. I hope that you all stay safe. I hope that you all keep your head cool as much as you possibly can. It is very difficult in these times, but just know that it is possible. And as always, we always need our Vatala to help us maintain and to see from a greater distance what really is happening. Okay, so until next time, remember to know your truest self, follow the moon, and I'll see you next month when the moon is full. Take care.